No Suave Show. We are bringing you a fun-filled show tonight with a great guest. So get ready, mi gente. Now, here is your talk show host, Rico. No Dale.
Because we back, because we're back, because we are back. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Rico No Suave Show. Bienvenido a todos, mi gente. And I am super happy to have you guys here with me today. You know, it's like you're here with me every day because when I miss you, you miss me. And we're always here with each other in spirit until it's time for another great show, mi gente. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We got a fun-filled packed show for you guys today. I'm super happy, man. I am like what they call it stoked. You know, I'm like stoked to be able to have another show with each and every one of you guys. So let's get right into it, everybody. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to wave at the screen. Say, hola, Rico. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. If you're also here with the live audience as well, too, don't forget, go ahead and say hello. Chat with me. Say hello. That's all you got to say, hello. All right, let's get it on, everybody. You know, we have angels that, you know, that's here on earth, and then they actually go to heaven. But we do have, I call her the queen of country music. It was sad to be able to hear about Dolly Parton. Everybody, Dolly Parton was an iconic, very iconic country singer, but also her image that she portrayed on stage was such amazing. One of the things about Dolly Parton was always about working 9 to 5. Well, for her, I know she worked all the time as far as 24/7 because she is such a great star. You know, one of the things that, of course, my parents used to watch her all the time and just listen to her music and just see how well she has done in the music industry, but also a little bit acting and also in interviews and just seeing how humble she are. I've seen that so many people actually really gave her flowers in regards to who she is as a person. And, you know, of course, just me, just in general, you know, I love Dolly Parton just because of the hairstyles that she actually just wore and just being able to just hear her country accent. I really loved it, everybody. But I want to thank you guys so much for showing, I want to thank her so much for showing the love when it comes to country music and being, you know, a very iconic person. Rest in peace. We all love you here, country music and all. Let's go. All right, everybody. You know, this young lady, thank you to Beverly Pomerantz for actually introducing me to this lady. Until I found out this young lady, who she was, you know, I'm like jumping for joy. You know, I'm like, oh, my God, really? I'm like, the movie that I saw, and I'm like, oh, no. And, you know, of course, I have to say it. It's like, hi, Miss Parker. Hello, boys. I want to love you, Miss Parker. What you say? Huh? That is the most iconic ever. The iconic. And, of course, she is part of an iconic game show. The Price is Right. But we got to bring her in right, everybody. We already got this queued up. Hit it. Everybody, I want you guys to put your hands together for none other than the model, the actress, the author, and also a singer. Put your hands together for none other than Kathleen Bradley. Let's go.
Hey.
Hi, Kathleen. How are you, love?
Hello, Rico. I am great physically, mentally great, and busy as ever. And just, I'm very grateful. I'm glad to be on your show today. You know I was going to be doing this for a couple of weeks, but no matter how hard you try to plan ahead, always something that comes up and shows up. And, this morning, actually, we kind of met during the setup. And
Yeah.
I just got back in town. I'll tell you about that nice little trip. But just,
Yeah.
to be able to do some things and had a very good audition. I can't tell you what it was for, but it's somebody everybody knows. And
Yes.
just say prayers. And we claim that Kathleen Bradley will land this role that she auditioned for today. Hallelujah.
Yes. We're always proud of you. I'm always proud of you. But at the same time, too, we're always praying for great people like yourself to continue to be successful, but also becoming an iconic and legendary, image for the world to see. And for you to be on my show today is just another level that we're so proud that you're actually here with us and privileged that you're here with us today. But it's time. You ready to have a good time?
Always, always. That's my second name, honey. I walk in the room, they say, "Hey, here's the party. Where the party at?"
Let's get it on. All right. Okay. Kathleen, your journey starts when you're young, right? And I want to know a little bit of fun facts about you when growing up. What was the life of Kathleen as a child?
I'm from Ohio, actually, Youngstown, Girard, Ohio.
Nice.
And I grew up in a very modest neighborhood and primarily all blacks in the neighborhood, though the whole city was primarily white. It was a very small town of
Okay.
Girard, Ohio. My father worked at the steel mill. My mother worked the Strausses at this department store in the jewelry department. She had three sisters and a brother, and everybody all lived around each other when they grew up and had children. I had a lot of cousins. One family was Catholic, so they was hitting. They weren't trying to have no birth control. Those are my Clarks, and I love them. There's 8 of them, and 5 of my others, 6 here, 6 there. So I'm from a very close knit family, so to speak. And as growing up as a child, I always loved to go to the movie theater with my mother. The cinema, it was like 25 cents back there, I think, or a
Yes.
dime or a nickel. We even had the five and dime cent store. If people know what that's about. But we would go to
Wow.
the theater, the movie show, and see the big screen. And I was just in awe of everything I saw up there in the cinema and the people. And, there wasn't really hardly any people of color then, but to me, it didn't matter. It was just, I could relate to any woman or person that was up there. And then I just always loved music when the music started playing on the radio back in the old days and
Yeah.
Motown era began in the 60s and what have you. I love to sing and I just always loved to perform, and I always knew I wanted to be a model. I went to modeling classes. I went to acting classes. I went to, etiquette classes. My mother put me in everything, and I thank her for that. So I just
Blessings.
knew I'm like Dolly, honey. I wanted to come to L.A., Hollywood, and be a star. So that was my goal in life.
I love it. I love it. One of the things that is part of us growing up as kids is being able to understand what our parents wanted from us, right? Or what we learned from our parents as well, too. And it's so awesome that your parents actually took you through those, schooling of the etiquette. That's very important. A
Right.
lot of kids didn't go through etiquette, I did, but it was etiquette of discipline or I would get a whooping, in regards to, being right? And knowing exactly where I want to be,
Right. And where to
in
put,
my
and where to
life.
put that fork on the left hand side, your silverware goes
Yeah.
on the left when you sit at the table. And we were taught to pull the seat out for a young lady when we were going to a table sitting down.
Yes.
My brothers were taught open the door for a lady, open the car door, open the door going in and out of a building
Yes,
somewhere. And,
ma'am.
etiquette say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am. I'm
Yes.
gracious and thankful and prayerful all the time. We learned
Yes.
all of that, and if we
Yes.
didn't, we did have spankings back then.
That's
Usually when
right.
my brothers got spanked, I did get a few here and there now. But of course, I was daddy's girl. But my brothers, they were all rambunctious. And I was pretty much a tomboy. I loved to climb trees,
Oh,
play marble.
wow.
I'd play, and we had an alley next to my house. We'd play soccer, softball, kickball, everything. So,
That's
yeah,
awesome,
climb
man.
those trees, go down, get in the sewer, go down underneath the whole city. My girlfriend Mayola and I, we would actually go in and lift the sewer top up and go down these stairs. It was dark as heck, but we'd go down throughout the city. Don't ask me why we did something that stupid, but we did.
Wow.
It was fun. We were adventurous. What the heck?
I love that. I love that as far as growing up with kids because you actually, and, did you have to be in when the lights come on?
You know what we did, but the most fortunate part about that, we lived right under the street light.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We were on the corner house, and that street light was right
Right.
right in front of our house. But normally you would have to be because it was pretty dark there. There weren't that many street lights all over the place. But and then when
Yeah.
people hear that, if they have to know what that means, of course it means it's going to be dark.
Right.
And then it means more than that too. From back, in the slavery times and different things, people need to be in the house before the lights came on, before it got dark, because you could really never see anything. It's pitch black.
Right.
So a safety factor to just get you behind. The hounds will come out barking for you because they can sniff you, and you better be home before those lights come on. But another thing, because nothing really ever happens good at nighttime and late in the evening. So, the vampires come out, some of the bad people come out. Cats really see, and they take advantage of people in the dark.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So, because you have so many talents, but during that time, as far as when, you were going through, the etiquette and things like that, were there also influencers or people that you looked up to growing up that just kept you motivated to basically say, hey, I want to be not just like this, but you want to be great as well?
Well, to be honest with you, I came up in the era of the 60s.
Okay.
Actually, 50s. I was born in 51. Okay, I ain't ashamed of that. So you have to imagine in the 50s and 60s, I graduated actually in 69. So there weren't a lot of black folks, Negroes back then that we can see on television and try to look up to. And of course, we were very happy to be able to see the Ed Sullivan Show. And hopefully a lot of people were able to see that documentary about Ed Sullivan. He was a very kind, gracious man, and he was so for diversity and having all of the black entertainers on his television show, the Ed Sullivan Show. He brought the Temptations there, Donna Supremes, and all of those two groups there. So that was something we had opportunity to look up to. And also when Leslie Uggams was on, what's the name? I forget the guy's name. Anyway, Leslie Uggams, she was singing on this white guy's show, and I forget his name. Somebody will think of it out there. It was way ahead of its time, and she was able to have some airtime. And a woman of color that I always remembered and looked up to. But other than that, not too terribly many. But of course, later down the line, Diane Carroll was the show, and several others. But of course, there were the Supremes.
Yes.
The very first women's group to come out. So there's kind of people I really admired and looked up to in terms of women that that were visible.
Awesome. I like that. Because time is not ever on our side, and you should know that as busy as you are, this show is going by too fast. And I have to get to the next question because we got to get right into it,
Let's get in it, baby.
Let's get into it. With the Barker Beauties in the 1990s on The Price is Right. I'm going to bring up some photos, but I want to know, how did you get this opportunity to be one of the Barker Beauties?
Okay, well, actually, I had just had my son, Terrence the second, and I had always been in the modeling industry and what have you for so many years. And I know that your body and your face are your passport. So I have two children, Cheyenne and Terrence. And I always knew that after I had my child, I had needed to snap back into shape. So I always wanted to get back in the business because I didn't want to miss any opportunity. So which I had that opportunity to do that. After I had my son Terrence in 1988, I had him. Oh, 89, I'm sorry. And my manager, Judith, she said, Kathleen, they're looking for a black model to be part of the Barker's Beauties on The Price is Right. You'll be perfect. So I was like 3 months after I had my son, like in November, December, January, 1st of January, something in 1990. But anyway, I was pretty much in shape. And she said, but you have to wear a swimsuit for the audition. So wear it under your dress because they want a swimsuit model in particular. Because Janice had fallen down prior and hurt her shoulder, one of the other long-term models there. And she didn't really feel comfortable in a swimsuit again. And plus, it was time for diversity for CBS in general across the board, especially for daytime programming for CBS. Even The Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, and whatever shows they had airing, they had to add some more black people to the shows. And of
Yeah.
course, Price is Right was one of them. But I went in and I auditioned. I did my, twirl and whirl and this and that, and they liked me, and they asked me to come do an audition, a live audition at the show. And of course, I
Wow.
did that, and they put me on a couple of shows and test run with the other models for live shows. I did several of them. I mean, many of them, to be very honest with you. I was very well liked. And one thing that really kind of helped me put me over the top, and I think a favorite more so than the other models, was that I was in close proximity of age range with Janice, Diane, and Holly. A lot of these other models were very young and a little green under the thumb, were very intimidated by the other models.
Sure.
Whereas I had traveled around the world with the singing group, the Love Machine, for eight
Yes.
years in Italy, Germany, Spain, Belgium, Sweden, Switzerland, Africa, Asia, you name it, Paris, Saint Tropez. So I was able to talk to these ladies on their own level. And, I was somebody, I've been somewhere, and they admired that. And plus the cast and the crew and everybody liked me. And I just fit in real well. And
Yeah.
inevitably, the rest is history. I did finally get it after 6 months because they did see other models and have them, try out as well. It was a blessing, and
Yeah.
I was so excited about it.
I like that. I like that. So, because I'm excited because the price is right, what part did you have as the Barkus Beauties? Because they were models that actually was modeling for the prizes as well too. Were you also doing the modeling for the prizes as well as far as on TV?
Well, that's all we were primarily there to um, show the prizes off.
Yep.
When it came out, of course,
Yeah.
nobody wanted to have a door open with just a car there and talk about it. And that's what really made the Bob Barker Beauty so famous, was that we just accentuated the
Yes.
product, or we had to demonstrate it and open the
Yes.
door if it was a refrigerator or a stove, or get in the car
Yes.
and put on our swimsuit. Actually, we wore bikinis and get in the jacuzzi and get on
Yeah.
on the sailboat and all of that. So,
Yeah.
and occasionally when I first got there, Barker would let the girls, the models, speak after the show was over, especially if we had a double overbid because we had a little bit of time to kill.
Yeah.
And he'd just say, "Hey, ask us how you doing, what's going on, Kathleen, what are you doing for the summer?" Da, 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 da. And we did that. So, but primarily we were there just to show off the prizes, and then we did get to do some skits. Though I liked the skits. We were able. Mine was the famous nutty professor, and then we had one with spiked hair and different things, and little girls. We got to play a lot of different characters and pineapples, and all of that was so fun because it was accentuating a trip. Like if it was to Hawaii, I dress up in a holo dress and have all of that. It was exciting and fun. And we did have to go in early enough so we could do blocking. And for people who don't know, blocking is when you actually rehearse and practice with the camera. Because it was important how we held up the product, where we went to hit our spot, because the cameras are very important to follow you around and do this, do that. So, but by and large, we would tape. When I first got there, taped 3 shows a day. We
Wow.
worked 3 days a week, and we were off a week, and we were on 3 weeks. So I was literally working 9 days a week. I mean, a month,
Wow.
9 days a month. I had actually prayed for that. I claimed it. I claimed being on that show. I wrote it up too. I did. I made that happen. So people, if you want to do something and you believe it and you want it, write it down. Don't go to
Yes.
AI and ask them what the hell you should do and suggest some stuff for you behind.
I
Know what you want to
agree.
do. Think what you want to do. They can, yes, suggest some things maybe for you and your talent. But when you get an audition or go for an interview, write it down. And I started with, "The Price is Right is the perfect job for me as a Barker Beauty because I deserve to have it. It's good for me. It's going to be good for my family. I want to work a certain time of day and get certain monies and be able to spend time with my family and loved ones. So I claim this in the name of the Lord Jesus. Amen." I did. I've done that on several jobs. Most
I
of them
love
I've
that.
gotten, but at least I feel, I approached it the right way and gave it some good energy.
I love that. Man, I love that. Oh man, I'm just listening and witnessing history because you are awesome, man. Very iconic, but at the same time too, to be on a show that is such iconic that actually paved the way for other game shows as
Right.
well. And how many years? Because I feel that the Price is Right was on for over 20 plus years, right?
Well, actually, when I got there, it was 17 years before they put up that
Wow.
model.
Yeah.
17. It had been on. I think it first started in 1972. That's
Oh,
when
wow.
Janice and Anitra, one of the other models, came on, and then they added Diane Parkinson and later Holly Ostrom. And it had always been three models, and that was another thing. I was the fourth model actually added. And I always say I felt that it wasn't an intrusion, so to speak, but the models were used to having a lot more airtime. So I think somewhere in the back of their minds, they're like, oh, she's going to come in and take some of our airtime because we want to be on TV. We want to be seen when we're going out to do our
Yeah.
little products and different things like that. So, but
Yeah.
by and large, they liked me, loved me, accepted me. And we've all been friends for, ever and ever until I wrote my book. Anyway, not to step on anyone's toes, but
I love it. Before we take a quick break, because the commercial is coming up, the one thing that I love about the models is that you you basically made a template for other models on other game shows
yeah.
that were prizes. There's also for like Whammy, right? And also I love this lady that's off of the Wheel of Fortune because when she's
Oh
modeling
yeah,
and she's
Vanna White. Yeah,
actually
well, she had been there
yeah
for a long time, and boy, did she get paid big money. Oof, I tell you, God
yeah
bless her
she
heart. I
got
ain't
paid
mad at her.
good.
Yeah. We
She
were
got
actually
paid.
underpaid. I got to tell you, I ain't gonna lie, we were underpaid. I thought
Man,
I was really surprised when I first started working at the minuscule payment I was getting, but down the line, we start getting more pay increase. And the one thing about being in show business, the residuals are your friend. Your residuals, for people who don't know what that is, we work and do a certain job, maybe work 6 months during the year, and we take like 3 or 4 months hiatus, and hiatus is your vacation. So when we're off, they show the shows that we've already taped. It's reruns. They're reruns. You get paid
yep,
residuals money for the reruns. And
yeah,
more, those checks were coming in like crazy. And that was just
I
really a
love
wonderful
that.
thing, too. They were,
I bet that was good.
it was very good.
What was it like? What was it like for you to be able to work as a Barker Beauties, and then you're walking down the street? Did people come up to you and ask you for autographs and things like that because they seen you on TV?
All the time,
Yeah.
they would walk up to me or I'd do special engagements or what have you. And it was always kind of fun when I was at the grocery store and with my cart. And I can tell when people are like, and this
Yeah.
one girl, she came up to me, she said, ain't you that black lady on The Price is Right? I said, yeah, that's me. Some people did not know my name, but they just knew I
Uh-huh.
was that black lady on The Price is Right, which was okay with me. I didn't care because I was cool being a black lady on The Price is Right. It was really
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. But that's so cool though. I mean, it's so cool because you're a humble person and it's just more of you love people and people love you. And I think that's what also keeps us grounded. And it comes from our parents too, of being able to love life, live life, and also be disciplined, but knowing that, we have to be kind to each other, which is awesome, man. So, and being able to have that just it feels like it just took your career to the next level of just being on TV and also being a beautiful model, as yourself. So, did you ever get on any magazines? Did anybody write any
oh, yes,
articles
yes, yes,
about you
yes.
and things like that?
Oh, yes. I've been on the front cover of several magazines. One was Out Front
Out
magazine. I did
front?
that 3 times. It was out of Florida. And the guy, the editor, he just loved me. He always put me on the front cover several times. I think I did it 3 times. I did, uh, well, no, I did, whatever. Well, not on the front, well, just other kind of magazines, from
Sure.
modeling magazines. And, I was in Jed and Ebony. They featured me in some stories and what have you. But
Awesome.
it was always very nice to be acknowledged.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you deserve it, definitely. I mean, you definitely deserve it because that is just pure love as far as being a model, but also just being on The Price is Right, where everybody wanted to be on that show. And also just to be able to meet the staff
Right.
itself and being able to just be an iconic person where people will just come up to you and say, "Hello, how are you, man? Aren't you? Yeah, that is you, right? Yeah, that's you. Yeah, that's you. You are awesome." And I think that portrays you as a great person, great iconic person as well. So we got to take a break, love. We got to take
Yes.
a commercial break. Everybody, you already know it's Kathleen Bradley. She is the actress. She is a singer. She is an author. She is a public speaker as well too. But I'm so happy that she's here on the show with us, everybody. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in 15 seconds. Let's go.
Every year, 800,000 children are reported missing. That's one child every 40 seconds.
Deferred.
It's every parent's worst nightmare. Right now, there are 483 missing children cases still open. Your card donation can help keep kids safe and bring missing kids home. Donate your unwanted card today. Fast, free pickup, 24-hour response. Plus, you'll get the maximum tax deduction.
Call 800-723-2013.
And welcome back. Welcome back. You know, Kathleen, because you have so much talent, so much history that we got to do a part 2 of this as well too, because we're already at the halfway mark. Can you believe it?
Time
Yeah.
flies when you're having fun.
Got that right.
It
Got
is
that right.
fun, but you do, Rico, and you have a great show.
Thank
And
you.
everybody, tell somebody and have your friends tune in. They can go to your YouTube and watch all of the other shows you've had with some of the other talent.
I appreciate you on that. Thank you, love. But there's something called Mrs. Parker. Hi. There's Mrs. Parker. Mrs. Parker, we do got a photo of you. Hey, Mrs. Parker. Ooh, when I saw that, I was like, look at Mrs. Parker. I'm like, that is awesome. So we have to, because the most iconic movie of Chris Tucker and also with Ice Cube and Red and all of those guys and Bernie Mac, all of the iconics that was in there. We have to know, how did you wind up getting this part as Mrs. Parker?
Well, oddly enough, and so glad you asked, because actually I was on The Price is Right. Ice Cube watched that show. Oh, so many people did watch it in fun and time, especially when I got on it. I didn't know, but even Eric Benet, a whole bunch of folks said, "Oh, I used to love you on The Price is Right. Yeah, I know you are." And so Ice Cube, they were auditioning for the Fridays, and he kind of almost wrote that character around my character on The Price is Right, because I had swimsuits, wore swimsuits, had sexy body. We did our
Yes.
thing. He told the casting people, he said, "I want that black lady on The Price is Right." Once again, there you go. No name. That black lady on The Price is Right. I want her to come in and audition for this part of Miss Parker. She'd be perfect for this. So my agent once again called me and said, "Kathleen, we need to go in and audition." But at some point it was a little difficult for us to audition and do stuff on the show, because they didn't want us to even be in the movies or do anything extra outside of The Price is Right, which was
Yeah.
ridiculous. At some point, you would think that they'd be happy that we were being seen in a movie or TV or series or something, and people say, "Oh, that's the person from The Price is Right." Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we just so happened to be on a lunch break, or the show was over or not working that day. I can't exactly remember, but it worked out perfectly where I went in and did the audition. And needless to say, I got the part. They really liked me. And, the rest is kind of history, and that's how really I got on.
That's awesome.
in,
So
in
with the movie Friday, because I mean, you just had that. You had the part of course, you watering the garden, watering your plants, or just watering the lawn, and then of course you get caught with you know the guy running out the house when Bernie Mac comes
Bernie Mac.
home.
Ah, it
What
just
was it like to actually work with the staff during that time, of course, for your part, as far as working with Bernie Mac, because you know he's from Chicago, Chicagoan, as well as Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. What was it like working with them?
well, they weren't really who they are today that they were then. I mean,
Sure.
they weren't as iconic or famous, but Cube was. Ice Cube was pretty well known.
Yep.
Chris Tucker, no. And Cube will tell you he saw him at the what you call it, Comedy Central, a show they used to have on and stuff. But he was
Yep.
there,
Uh
his
huh.
big break, and they really liked him from there. But it was fun, it was cool, it was good. I was somebody in my own right, so I feel kind of equally challenged to be around them. And the
Yeah.
part was not too big or too small. It didn't have a lot of dialogue, and what it stood for was just a voluptuous woman with a great body and
Yes.
delivering these lines, and it had like a slapstick kind of funny kind of thing. But it was really fun. We did a couple of readings with I did with them initially starting out, and I always remember, and I really didn't know a lot about Miss Parker Rowe. All I knew, she was the sexy next door neighbor across the street. And we were doing the reading, and they said, "Hey, Miss Parker, look at Miss Parker. She know what she is doing." And I remember Chris Tucker said, "Yeah, Miss Parker's a hoe. She knows she's a hoe." I'm like, "A hoe? I go, no, I made him take that line out. I did.
Right.
She ain't no hoe, but she was a hoe. She was a hoe." And at the end of the day, he put his little spin on it. And F.
Yeah.
Gary Gray, he was really by far the most wonderful director I worked with, because he gave the actors such license to do and freedom to work and do what we needed to do and expound upon the scenes and say certain things. And, that's why it really worked better than people would have imagined if you were, as opposed to just sticking with the script, because it was
Yeah.
real loose. He let us be loose. He let people be themselves. He let people add on not so much scenes, but say stuff, especially just ad lib. And that was the best part of it. That's really what made it real. And working with Bernie Mac, I probably spent more time with Bernie Mac and Tony Cox, my husband, because the scene I did with Cube and what's the name? Chris Tucker they were across the street most of the time. I mean, we see each other and talk during lunch breaks and different things in the trailers and stuff. But
Sure.
I spent time with Bernie Mac when we were in the house talking, discussing things before it was like, "Okay, Ro, come on out." When he runs out, and I come after him with my robe on and stuff. So we had a lot of time to talk inside that house before the scene ended and coming outside. And that's how we really kind of became friends and talked and what have you. It was just a special time. And of
Yeah.
course, he wasn't as famous as he was, but he was well known back then, up
Yep.
and coming. And we kind of kept in touch at some point when he went back to Chicago. And God rest his soul. I never really actually got a chance to see him again, probably at all after that. But like I said, we did talk about certain things. And I had some vitamins and minerals. I was working with people and stuff, and he ordered some. He liked them, gave you some good energy and what have you. But just such a great, genuine guy. And
Yeah.
to see him go the way he did. I know the sarcoidosis. I have a very good girlfriend of mine. She has sarcoidosis. So that's the first time I ever heard it was from her. She kind of told me about what it was. A lot of people don't know what it was. That's what Bernie Mac died from.
Yeah.
I couldn't explain it to you what it is, but it's painful and has something to do with your blood or bones or something. But just too
You know,
bad.
the one thing that of being able to be part of history like that, and when Friday came out, it got as big as what it was because it was genuine. It was like what happens in the hood. It's also what happens as far as on the street where you see Nia Long running down the street.
Right. It
Hey,
was
how are?
relatable.
It was
Relatable.
relatable. It was what happens in the community, what happens in the hood as well too. But over time, right? Over time, now you kept in touch as far as with Chris Tucker. I see that you kept in touch with Chris Tucker as well as Ice Cube. We got some photos as
But you
far
know
as
what? Not to say I really didn't keep in touch with them.
no.
I didn't know how to get in touch with them. It was a
Okay.
long stretch, a long period of time that I really got back into reuniting with these guys. And this was taken 3 years ago with Ice Cube.
Okay.
And it was for his music video called It's My Ego. And he
Okay.
played Reverend Ike. He played Reverend Ice. Like if people don't know who Reverend Ike was, he was a very flamboyant minister
Uh
with
huh.
cars and Rolls Royces and just a real pimp kind of guy. So he played Reverend Ice. But that song, "That's My Ego," was really kind of a good song. Hopefully I don't know if people heard it or not, but and this was recent right here. I
Yep.
hooked up with him and a lot of the other cast members from Friday and Mike Epps because they're getting ready to do the last Friday. And, he introduced me out there. I went on stage and the audience, the crowd went wild. And here's my Chris Tucker. I love Chris. Chris is such a wonderful guy. I was just in Atlanta, Georgia this past week. And he had a celebrity golf tournament. He has the Chris Tucker Foundation, which is a wonderful foundation for young children and for scholarships and backpacks and homeless kids. And he had his concert that night. And he put me in part of the concert, walked out. He had a lot of
Oh,
different
that's
comedians.
nice.
Yeah, and I'm on his promo for the concert, and it was really
Okay.
nice and cool. But this celebrity golf tournament, I love to play golf, so it was good
That's
to see Chris again.
awesome.
Chris was just a sweetheart. We spent a lot of
Yeah.
time with different people this weekend, even in church. Church. Yes, Chris has turned very, I won't say religious, but yes, religious and a man of God. And he
Yeah.
has this church that he goes to, and he has a wing in his name, Chris Tucker Youth Center. And so he had
Really?
built a wing onto the church and everything. We all went, the kids, all the people who came in for the golf tournament, celebrities, and we spent day in church. And then we went out, had a nice little dinner and lunch and everything. Okay, tell G-Pop, that's my grandson. And it was just wonderful the whole weekend.
That's awesome, man. Oh my God. I can imagine what it just feels like just to be like talking to Chris Tucker because he's so genuine and but
He
also
is. He is
just
so genuine, so kind, so
yeah.
nice, so humbling. He
Yeah.
just was the perfect gentleman. I placed in a lot of celebrity golf tournaments. There's a lot of other celebrities that are cool, and they get yanked this way or the other. I've booked Cedric the Entertainer's celebrity golf tournament for years, and Anthony Anderson, and many others. Especially a lot of the football players, Icky Woods, and they give you a little bit of time because they have to spread the love around. They have to spread the joy, and they have to spread their gratitude around to everybody that comes out for these events. So I understand it when and it's not like you're getting snubbed if you say something like, "Hey, what are you doing, Anthony? Anthony." Yes, but that's just the way it happens. I'm just grateful to be involved in the Bill Hammond. He does a lot of the golf tournaments, and he's
Okay.
Hammond Productions, which I've known Bill for ages. He does such a fabulous job. There's so many wonderful sponsors and people that corporate people that give money to these donations because the Lyles Foundation, that's what Cedric has, and Anthony has his just mostly for the kids, mostly for scholarships and different sickle cell, which Kiki Shepherd, my girl, unfortunately passed
Mm.
away. She always had the sickle cell Kiki Shepherd tournament, and she won't be here with us this year in September, but we're gonna put it on and do it in her honor and keep it going.
All right. All right. Your boy Rico No Suave. Oh man, you know what, Kathleen? It's such an honor to actually have you here on the show with me because it's a blessing to be able to know how even though you're going and doing all of these events as well as being able to stay grounded and just be blessed at what's in your path, what's in your journey. And I really love that about you because you stay excited. You stay excited all the time in regards to just knowing who you are as a person, but where you actually been. So we got to take a quick commercial break. And I don't want to, but we got to pay some bills around here.
Get that money, honey.
Everybody, you already know it's Mrs. Parker, a.k.a. Kathleen Bradley, the model of The Price is Right, and many more talents itself. We'll be back, everybody, 15 seconds. Let's go.
Feeling sluggish? Struggling with stubborn weight and visceral fat? It's time to reset with Fupa Water. Packed with powerhouse ingredients like spirulina, turmeric, and aloe vera, Fupa Water is your daily detox and hydration boost all in one. Flush out toxins, energize your body, and say goodbye to that stubborn belly fat. Ready to feel lighter and stronger? Get yours today at fupawater.com. And for a limited time, use code RNSS for the Rico No Suave show and get an additional 10% off.
And we are back.
Hey, that's great, man. You have these sponsors. That's awesome, you know. That's
Yes.
not an easy feat to do sometimes. And now that you have the sponsors, it gives you some more latitude to be able to stretch out and do more. That's
Yeah.
special. Good for
Thank you. Thank you, Kathleen. But we got to say hello to the audience because, I'm just so amazed about your journey. I got to tell the people that's in the audience that's saying hello to us right now. Well, the first one is Smart Girl says, hello, how are you, Kathleen?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, she's in the line.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Oh, okay. And then Donna Marie Berg checks in. She said, hi there, everybody. Hope everybody is doing super good. Yes, Donna Marie Berg, thank you so much. We got my girl, Tam McDonald is in the house. She says, hey, Rico. Hey, Kathleen. Hey, Miss Parker. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then who else we got in here? We got A.A. Ron. It's not Aaron. It's A.A. Ron David. He said, this is a classic interview. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. And he's also agreeing with you in regards to the etiquette that you were talking about as a kid. He says, that's nice that you also were, built on manners, right? Built on etiquette, which is very awesome. Very awesome. Okay, Smart Girl, we're going to come to that because that's one of my questions that I have to ask her as well, too. But Donna Marie Berg comes back and says, Mrs. Kathleen, I'm sure that I misheard the year you were born. And she says, whatever year it was, she says, otherwise, how do you keep your youthfulness?
Woo, Lord Jesus, I tell you. Well, a little bit here, a little bit there. I will admit I've had some Botox and some fillers and different things and what have you. And it's a little difficult. And especially, it depends on a lot. Has to do with your environment too. People don't realize that there's a lot of free radicals floating around, especially here in Los Angeles. It is dusty as hell. I'm telling you, I have to dust things off as it's crazy. But moderation is the key to life.
Yes.
It definitely is. I drink. I don't smoke. Never really smoked. And it's okay if people want to smoke. I don't endorse it, but drinking here and there now and then or whatever. And, I drink plenty of water. I take my vitamins. I do take vitamin supplements. You need supplements because especially the older you get, we lose these supplements in our body, the magnesium, the zinc, the everything, all that stuff. You got to replenish it and stay active. I stay very active. I don't really work out like I should. I recently just started kind of doing some of these chair exercises, which is cool, but keep moving. That's what Dolly Parton was always saying. She said, and somebody said, are you going to retire? And she said, oh, no, honey, darling, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to keep moving. If you stop moving, you're going to die.
That's right.
Stagnation is death, really. You don't want to be stagnant and keep moving because a lot of friends of my people that I know in my age range, they have had problems and difficulties. That's my grandson.
Hey.
He's such a sweetheart. He has Down syndrome. He's just such a sweetie. I'm telling you.
Blessings.
Yep. He wanted some cake. But stay busy. Stay
Yeah.
busy and stay read things aside from just getting on the internet and reading stuff on the internet. Read some books, read some literature, and stay knowledgeable. There are a lot of good things on the internet and even Instagram that show you and deal with knowledge. Be careful what you choose, what you pick to look at, what you choose to spend your time scrolling on. Okay, all
Yes.
these fights. I
Yes.
see it pop up on my Instagram, fights and this and that and chitter chatter. That's the bull crap. And they'll say, "Are you interested?" Not interested.
Nope.
Not interested.
Not
Some of
interested.
that crap. I always like to see, what's the latest fix for herbal, for hair, for your body, for your this,
Yeah.
how to fix that, how to glue that, or do that. You know, that's what you should be looking at. And so educational. You can get a lot out of scrolling on, Instagram, what have you,
I
and
agree.
Facebook.
I think
You
Big
can
Brother
look
is
at some
always
of the
watching
good
too.
things. Yeah, people are always looking for the sensationalism.
Right?
Come on. I mean, Nene Leaks is all cute and good and stuff, but how long,
Right.
she done to the best plastic surgeon in the world. She looks great, okay. But it's fun, just to
Yeah.
scroll occasionally. People just bide your time. Monitor your time.
Yes.
Get on, set yourself the time on your watch or your phone. Say,
Yeah.
okay, well, today, let me look. I know I'm gonna look at, and I do it too. Instagram. I get hung up and looking at it. Then
Yeah.
sometimes I'll go in and make a phone call, and the Instagram button is right there. I go in. I'm like, why was I in here? I'm like, I'm supposed to be going to my bank. I'm supposed to be making a call. I'm supposed to leave a text. I'm supposed to do an email. And here my butt is in here scrolling like there's no tomorrow. And then I just have to get a grip. But some things are very good and educational on there that we find out. And
Yeah, you
but
gotta
you just
pick.
have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to get in and get out, people. Get out. Like
Yeah.
that. Get out.
You know what, love? I got another one. I got another one for you because Tommy Summerhill, a really great artist in regards to his voice. He says, "Hello, Rico No Suave." He said, "I'm proud of you, Ken folks." And hello, Kathleen. He said, "I'm loving it. I'm loving the interview." Thank you so much, Tommy Summerhill. We appreciate that. Aaron David is also checking in. He asked a question. Do you prefer drama or a comedy role?
Comedy all day long. I
Let's go.
love comedy. I have an alter ego person called Ethelene. Ethelene, she always wears this red lipstick, and she always has one piece of red lipstick on her teeth. And she has short wigs on, and she wears these eyeglasses like the old 50s, 60s style with the
Yeah.
cattail and stuff and everything. She wears all these flamboyant clothes and different things. So it's like, hey, I'm Ethelene. How you doing? I posted a few things on my Instagram with Ethelene, and I actually started an Instagram page, but I have not had the opportunity to get back to it. But I've always loved comedy, and I love slapstick, and I often thought I would like to be a stand-up comic, but I never got around to doing it. But I love the comedy roles. I really do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Denise Jones, she is also an author of Who Said It Cannot Be Done, Who Said It Couldn't Be Done. Really great author here in Chicago, but also has a big stage play. But she says, "Hello, Kathleen." Hello, Kathleen.
Hi.
That's awesome. Denise Jones, you are awesome. All right, we got to get down because time is not on our side, love. And we have to get to something that we all think about. It's called love. The love machine, baby. The
Huh?
love machine. We're going to put up this photo right here. Ba-boom. Come on. The love machine.
Yep, that's right. The Love Machine. We were actually started from Mavericks Flat International with John Daniels was our manager. He was the owner of Mavericks Flat. And I got involved with the group because I won the Miss Black America Beauty Pageant with John Daniels. Once again, God rest his soul, who just recently passed away.
Rest in
He had
peace.
the regional Miss Black California pageant here that I won. And some of the other girls were in the pageant that were in the Love Machine. He kind of recruited everybody one by one based on their look and their merit and their, personality and what have you. So he picked a most wonderful group of well-rounded young ladies that he could find. And we all just got along really well over the years. And that was back in 1971.
Oh,
I stayed
wow.
with the group 9 years. We were with Motown.
Okay.
I actually worked with opening shows with Sammy Davis Jr., Red Fox, and oh my
Yeah.
God, I mean, you name it, Tom Jones, and the
Wow.
Miracles. And the Miracles, when Billy Griffin got with the Miracles and Smokey left, we traveled with them a bit, and they were big fans of ours. And Billy Griffin said, "Man, we got to write a song for the girls." They called us the girls, and they did. They wrote the song, "A Love Machine." I'm just a love machine, and they
Yeah.
wrote it for us about us. They
Let's
told
go.
Barry. They said, "Man, Barry, we got a song for the girls. Man, it's bad, it's bad, it's good." And we played it for Barry, and Barry said, "I think you all need to sing that song." And
Mm.
Billy said, "No, man, we could." He said they're kind of phasing out of Motown, and
Yeah.
you guys go ahead and sing it. And Billy told me this person. He said, "No," he said we'll put them on our label. Let them sing this and do all that. But Barry's like very adamant about it. We didn't find out about this until much later down the line, honey. I mean, really
Mm.
long, several years later. But when we heard that song come out, we was like, Lord. And then to find out the real reason behind it, and it was for us, about us. Well, I
Mm.
mean, that could have been a one hit wonder. I don't care. You know how people are still getting money and paid from one hit wonders.
That's right. That's
Every
right.
time I hear it, I get a pit in my stomach and the heart. It's just,
What were
it's
some
just,
of the great memories that you actually have with being part of that group, during that time? Because that was, we call it real music, right? I mean, that
all
was
right.
music where it was meaningful when you actually got onto that stage, but just it's the way that you dress, it's the way that the culture was with being during that time. And I really appreciate my parents, because my parents listened to all of that music as well too. And of course, me growing up and listening to it with them, I tend to appreciate it. I did get a chance to interview Cherie Payne from the Supremes,
Right.
and listening to how they used to wear the outfits itself. How did that make you guys feel? Because of course you had to do a few concerts and perform.
Yeah.
What was it like as far as with the different outfits that you guys were wearing too?
Well, you know what? We were always very scantily clad, and
Yeah.
meaning people that we wore little or nothing. We
Mm.
were way ahead of our time in the 70s. We had midriff tops on. We wore like bikini bottoms. We had hot pants. We had halter tops.
Uh-huh.
I was wearing those hot pants, even jean hot pants, even before Miss Parker thought about it. And we had high heel boots up to our knees and platform this high. So
Wow.
I mean, we had to dance in those. And actually, I started out one of the songs doing, "Hey, big brother, as soon as you arrive." I would come out doing a cartwheel and a split. Then I go,
Wow.
"Hey, big brother, as soon as you arrive, you better get in touch with the people, big brother." Oh, it was like we were spectacular. We were
Let's
moving
go.
like, I mean, we were like Tina Turner, Temptations, Beyonce, Lola Falana, you name it, we were that and all that. The Temptations loved us. They would always come see us, whatever opportunity they could get. But we were very high energy. We would get off that stage, we'd be sweating like all, you would never know. We do 2 and 3 shows sometimes doing all that. I mean, we were full of energy, switching mics and switching leads and everything, and just a whirlwind. People can go on right now and pull up the Love Machine, but put my name in Kathleen Bradley, because you might get the book, and you might get something else of the musical from the music, Temptation. But Kathleen Bradley, the Love Machine. Go in there and
Yeah.
pull that up, and you can see some of our performances. And I'm so grateful that at this latter part of the years, we never really had cameras and phones back then to do
Right.
video of ourselves.
Right.
But thank God, some of the TV shows we did, like in
Yes.
Paris, we did some in Star Parada, Germany, we did it all over. And people were able, of course, they recorded it. And just recently, maybe within the last 6 or 7, 8 years, people are posting them. They start posting them. And I
Mm.
was so grateful to see these shows, because
Yes.
we hadn't seen them since, I mean, we left the show. Some of the girls stayed longer than I did. And
Okay.
it was just, they loved us in Italy, Germany, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Africa, France. The first place we ever worked was in Saint Tropez, France. Go
Wow.
figure. And all over in Africa, Japan. It was a wonderful, just traveling and worldly experience, and just to be loved and engulfed by all these different cultures and people who love the Love Machine. it was a wonderful time in life, and we were still very young, and nobody was really married or hooked up. Although I did have a couple of boyfriends, and they were like, well, and we would stay gone like 6, 7 months out of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were
touring.
gone and mostly in Europe. We worked in Las Vegas a lot when we worked with Simon Davis Jr., the Sahara, Tom Jones, Elvis Presley, all these people as opening
Wow.
acts, which was another great, just
Wow.
a great time. B.B. King, Isaac Hayes, man, a great life. I've been telling my family and my kids and all my friends, I've had a wonderful life. You know, if I died tomorrow, I mean, I have lived, lived, lived. I have
Let's go.
little or no regrets.
I
So,
love that.
except for just trying to get that Range Rover.
That's right.
It's coming.
It's
It's
coming.
coming.
Last question, love, man. And then, we also have, I got one more other thing after this last question, though, love, but I'm having such a blast with you. And once again, thank you so much for being on the show. Lastly, of course, because you have the iconic book on the side of you there, the poster. You are author of author of a book called Backstage at The Price is Right, Memoirs of the Barker Beauty. Give us a little bit of synopsis of the book.
Okay, so I wrote the book several years, many years actually, when I was booted off The Price is Right in 2000. I had been on The Price is Right 1990 to 2000, 10 years. And little did I know that Janice and I were going to be fall prey of just one another, Bob Barker's getting rid of us and how it was done. He did it to Holly and what have you earlier, and it was all kind of built around some depositions, which really started way back with Diane, but that's a whole nother story. So you got to read the story. And I was very bitter when I left and how I left and wasn't ready to go. And I was put under a gag order because they did give me a settlement from the show because it was wrongful termination. So I had to kind of wait out 7 years, I think, or something before I could say anything about it or do anything. And all this time, too, I said, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. I was telling people, just talking to them about this, that, and the other. And I was reminiscing and thinking back and still kind of with anger. And so one day I just sat down and I said, I'm going to finally do it. So I just started putting down words and different things and segments. And I said, it's not necessarily not my life story, mind you, but it is the 10 years, encompasses the 10 years that I was on that show. And, some in between about how I got to the journey there. So, of course, I had to talk about some of my life and my family getting here. But for the most part, it's an easy read. I have photos in here. I mean, I love it. I'm not a big
Oh,
reader.
I love it.
Read. I got all kind of photos in here. I got a whole bunch
Yeah.
of pages of photos. I love looking at the photos, and I might read the book. But I love to write, so I
Yes.
do love to write. And I just, I start putting stuff in my phone. And so people, you can write your story. I actually self-published. And initially I was looking for a publisher, but somehow I got really kind of anxious and I was a little disappointed because it is a chore and quite a ordeal to try to get your publicist or people to publish your book. A lot of
Yeah.
people have said that, told people no, no, no before they've even published their books. And it's about getting with the right one. I was a little eager. And then self-publishing had kind of just come out a while. And I said, let's try it, honey. So my husband and I, Terrence, we actually did all the front cover. We did the graphics. We actually did the whole book. There are people that would do
Nice.
it for you. I did have some people help me manage the writing of the, what do you call it? When people make sure you have the literature
Oh,
right.
the
I'm thinking.
the writers itself, the ones that actually
I wrote it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
corrected to I forgot, but have them correct.
proofreaders.
Yeah, proofreaders. I did
Yes,
have
the
a couple
proofreaders,
of
yes.
Yes, I did. And I got some advice here and there and what have you. But it's mostly me and my personality. It's such an easy, fun read, just how I wanted
Yes.
it to be. It's just me, like me, how I speak. So it's coming from my heart. And it's not a Bob Barker bashing book, but it's my story, and I'm sticking
Sticking
to it.
to it. Let's go. All right, last thing we got one more photo that we have to put up. And this is a segment that I didn't know if I was going to do, but I have to put it up. It's called
Oh, yeah.
Flashback Photo.
Flashback. Yep, there you go. That's me on my mommy's lap, and that's my brother Scotty B. He
Let's
passed
go.
away in 1999. Bless his heart. But I have 4 brothers, and only one remaining now. That's so sad, But God is good, and we've had some good
Yeah.
times together growing up, and it was just a wonderful childhood. I mean, really growing up and where I came from. So it was my parents, mom and dad, couldn't ask for better. Great place to be from. And my aunt Marguerite, Uncle Paul, and June, Uncle James, everybody,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody took care of everybody's children and what have you.
That's blessings, man. That's a blessings to you and your family, man. Just a beautiful family itself. And you know what's also is beautiful? Not only you, Kathleen, but this shirt. This shirt is for you.
Oh, yeah.
I got this for you.
Okay.
This is the
very
Rico No Suave Show shirt. And the reason why we give these shirts out is because of gems of the world like yourself. There's so many accolades that you have accomplished, but also we love to give flowers to people that deserve it like yourself. And with this shirt, I have to say that just from being Mrs. Parker, but also being in one of the beauties and also being a singer and being an author as well too, you have touched so many people's lives along the way, and a lot of influencers or people that came along your journey. It felt like there was just that motivation for you to continue to be great at what you love to do in those different areas of your talent. One thing that we're proud of you because of you never stop moving, like Dolly Parton said. And trust me, over the last few weeks, I felt like you never stopped moving and you kept going.
I know you was trying hard to get a hold of me. I'm like, I'm going to Atlanta, going to hang out with Chris Tucker and everybody else, and you name it, Dr. J and all the folks, man.
But I love it though, and this is who Kathleen Bradley is. Kathleen Bradley is that magnet that people love to see, and also for you to be able to love to see them as well too. So I want to tell you that we're proud that and we're happy for you. We're going to keep praying for you always. But this shirt here is a representation of how much we love you, and thank you so much for being on the show with us today. Let's go. Yeah. Kathleen, of course, our time is up. And the time goes by fast when we're having fun.
Yes,
but we do have to show people your social media. We have to put your information on so people can actually follow you and always see your updates. So let's start off with the first one. The first one is, of course, this is her page, which is Kathleen Bradley. Please make sure you go ahead and follow her. Go ahead and blow it up and show her some love. Here's the next one. The next one is, of course, that ending of Mrs. Parker. You always will find that as far as on Instagram, Kathleen Bradley _Mrs. Parker. Here's the next one. Oh, yeah. Subscribe, mi gente. Subscribe. It is Kathleen Bradley TV on YouTube. Hit that
I gotta
subscribe.
get back. My YouTube is like I don't even know if it's up now. I don't know, but I need to get back on it because I know there's so many things I want to post on there. And Instagram is cool and good and all, but the YouTube is going to be really slamming people.
Yep.
I promise you.
More videos. And we got one more. We got one more that is Kathleen Bradley TV. Yes, make sure you guys go ahead and follow that. I love your website as well too. It tells everything that you need to know, what you need to know about Kathleen Bradley. Kathleen, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
I loved having you on the show again, and hopefully we can do this again when I need to know when your peak time and your downtime is, which I probably won't never know that. And
Ooh, I don't hardly even know myself, honey. I'm telling you.
But I'm so glad you took the time to be on the show. Thanks to your lovely husband as well too, Terrence. Big shout out to him as well too. Beverly Pomerantz is actually having you on the show. But much love to you, and thank you so much for being on the show. Okay.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Everybody, put your hands together. Kathleen Bradley. Let's go. Everybody, thank you guys so much for actually being on the show with us today. You already know Mrs. Parker, and it's the Barker Beauties as well too, and everything that she's actually done. We want to thank you guys so much for actually being on the show with us today, because Without you guys, man, hey, this show wouldn't continue to go. And it keeps me motivated to bring great guests like this on our show. And much blessings as far as to Kathleen Bradley and to her whole team, to her family and everybody that's in her journey. Man, thank you so much for being on the show. We got to show you our social media, everyone, because our social media is important too. Here's the first one. It is the RicoNoSuaveShow.com. Make sure you go to the RicoNoSuaveShow.com, everybody. Make sure you go and like and love. Here's the next one. Oh, yeah, it is Facebook. We got a page, too, Rico No Suave Show. Make sure you please go ahead and check that out. Here's the next one. Oh, yeah, Instagram. Yeah, we got Instagram, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and check us out on Instagram. Show us some love there. Follow us. Next one is a good one. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, too, Rico No Suave Show. Last but not least, we have Mixcloud. Ba-boom. Mixcloud, everybody, make sure you guys go and check us out. It turns into audio. While you're driving, you can hear me and Kathleen while you're driving. It's just another great day. It's a good day, like Ice Cube. Everybody, we got to get out of here. We want to thank you guys so much for being on the show with us. Don't forget, continue to like and love, and we'll continue to love you like always. Until next time, everybody, as we end off the show, just like this.